In the summer when he was 18, Cheng Shi received a call from his white moonlight, asking him to go and confess his love. Holding a bouquet of roses, he arrived at the scene, only to find out that it was just a prank from a game of truth or dare. Cheng Shi felt that his youth was shattered on that very day. In the winter when he was 36, an accident took Cheng Shi's life. Looking back on the 7 years he had wasted on his white moonlight, he still couldn't let it go. However, he was reincarnated and went back to that summer when he was 18. In this lifetime, he decided not to be a bootlicker anymore. He regained himself and then encountered a precious girl who was worth cherishing for a lifetime. But just when their relationship was getting better and better, the white moonlight came chasing after him again. Xiao Cheng, why are you ignoring me? Chapter 7, Teacher Huang, I'll warn you Beiwei. Xiaoning didn't go to the cafeteria for lunch. Her family environment was good. Although not as affluent as UK Wei's, who had a full-time nanny to deliver lunch every noon, she still preferred to eat at the school gate restaurant. I don't know if it was because she didn't like the cafeteria aunt's attitude or if she just wanted to choose her own dishes. After lunch, when she returned to the classroom for a noon break, she didn't know that Cheng Yi and UK Wei had just gone to the cafeteria for lunch together. But her best friend Lu Wenwen knew. Lu Wenwen was sitting at the side of Cheng Yi's table just now and saw clearly the scene where UK Wei picked up the chicken wing from Cheng Yi's plate and ate it. What kind of close relationship was this? They could even share the food on each other's plates? Lu Wenwen was stunned. No wonder Cheng Yi said he wouldn't chase Xiaoning anymore. Could it be that he had met someone better? She always thought that Xiaoning was extremely beautiful and wouldn't lose to those little stars in the entertainment industry even if she were there. But compared to Yu the school belle, who amazed the whole school for 2 consecutive years, she was still not as good. There was a gap between them, like the difference between a top student and an average student. The top student scored 995 points, which was the best they could get, while the average student scored 100 points, which was the best they could achieve. She hesitated about whether to tell Xiaoning about this. However, before she could decide, Zhou Rui came over and said with a pained expression, "Ning Ning, don't be angry. I just taught Cheng Yi a lesson for you. That guy is a coward. I used my status as class monitor and the honor of being an outstanding student in the school to almost scare him to tears." Xiaoning frowned. "Zhou Rui, why did you teach Cheng Yi a lesson?" Zhou Rui nodded. "Well, I didn't hit him. I just criticized him a few words to make him realize his mistake." Xiaoning's pretty face turned cold. "What does my business with Cheng Yi have to do with you? Why did you criticize him?" Zhou Rui's cheeks flushed. "Ning Ning. I care about you." Xiaoning's beautiful oval face became even colder. "Zhou Rui, I don't need your concern. The more you are like this, the more I dislike you." Zhou Rui was so choked that he couldn't say a word. He returned to his seat with a dejected look. After he left, Lu Wenwen asked, "Ning Ning, do you actually care about Cheng Yi?" "Of course not." Xiaoning just pouted and glanced at Cheng Yi's empty seat. Oh, Lu Wenwen sighed. "If you can't bear to let him go, then be nice to him." "No." Xiaoning shook her head firmly. She and Cheng Yi had had their fair share of arguments. Although it was mostly her who was in the wrong, wasn't it always Cheng Yi who coaxed her? If she took the initiative to be nice to Cheng Yi, she would lose face. Lu Wenwen looked at Xiaoning's proud and delicate face. After careful consideration, she decided not to tell her about what happened in the cafeteria at noon. In the next few days, every noon, Cheng Yi would still go to the cafeteria with UK Wei for lunch. In front of others, UK Wei was still expressionless, just like the iceberg beauty on the cloud. Only when she was with Cheng Yi would a faint smile occasionally appear on her oval face. This scene also made many innocent teenagers dumbfounded. Yu the school belle was Yu the school belle. Her every frown and smile was a beautiful scene. In the past few days, Cheng Yi didn't know that he had attracted so much envy and hatred. Many innocent teenagers hated him so much that they wished they could team up with the Lich King Arthas and kill him. It was really incomprehensible. It was truly incomprehensible. In the eyes of the guys in Class 6, Senior Grade 3, who were like Cheng Yi, they were not extremely handsome, and their grades were just average. At most, they barely passed the selection line. Why could Cheng Yi win Yu the school belle's favor? What do you think? Yu the school belle and that Cheng Yi, aren't they in love? There's a high probability that they are. Throughout the whole senior year, have you ever seen Yu the school belle smile? You're lucky enough to see Cheng Yi make her smile, and she even fed him food. Stop it, you're breaking my heart. Similar conversations could be heard in every corner of the cafeteria. In the past few days, the rumor that Cheng Yi and UK Wei were in love gradually spread throughout the school and finally reached the ears of the teachers. Sun Mei, the class teacher of Class 1, Senior Grade 3, didn't believe it at first. She even thought it was absurd. UK Wei in love? And with that ordinary and unremarkable Cheng Yi from class 6? Wasn't this going from one extreme to another, extremely ridiculous? However, as the rumor grew stronger, Sun Mei had to pay attention to it. It was better to be cautious than careless. There was only 1 month left before the college entrance examination. If UK Wei was affected by this matter and her study state was affected, and she ultimately couldn't get into Tsinghua or Peking University, it would be a great loss for the school and for UK Wei herself. After careful consideration, Sun Mei went to find Huang Liman and, after beating around the bush for a while, mentioned this matter with a hint of playfulness. She wouldn't go to warn UK Wei. Instead, she chose to let Huang Liman warn Cheng Yi. Huang Liman, who taught Chinese, could naturally sense the underlying meaning in Sun Mei's words. Probably something like, "Take care of that pig in your class named Cheng Yi. Make him stop having those inappropriate thoughts and stop trying to ruin the most precious flower in our class at this crucial moment." Huang Liman felt rather strange. Was it necessary to mention something that was just based on rumors? Eating a meal together was far from being in love. However, since it involved UK Wei, who was definitely a candidate for Tsinghua and Peking University, Huang Liman was still uncomfortable. She agreed to Sun Mei and said she would talk to Cheng Yi. If she didn't agree, with Sun Mei's character, she might go to the school leaders. That would be a very troublesome situation. On Friday evening during the self-study class, Huang Liman asked the study committee member of the class to call Cheng Yi to the office. When Cheng Yi arrived at the office, he said to Huang Liman, "Teacher Huang, you called for me." Huang Liman didn't answer immediately. Instead, she continued to correct the test papers attentively, leaving Cheng Yi aside. It wasn't until she finally finished correcting the test papers that she picked up her thermos cup, opened it, and took a sip of the chrysanthemum tea inside. After finishing this whole set of actions, she finally set her eyes on Cheng Yi. If it were the former Cheng Yi, he would have been scared to death by Huang Liman's combination of actions. Huang's mother was not only good at taking care of people but also very good at handling students. However, for the current Cheng Yi, he wasn't nervous at all. Instead, he found it a bit funny. He guessed why Huang Liman had called him. But he and UK Wei were just ordinary friends and hadn't crossed any boundaries. He wasn't afraid of the shadow being crooked. "Cheng Yi, you've been studying very hard recently. Even teacher Huang has noticed." Huang Liman sighed while speaking. "You're a smart kid. Your school grades were second in the class before. According to the standards, you should be able to get into a 985 university. Unfortunately, you didn't focus on your studies in the past, which led to your current situation." Cheng Yi said, "Teacher Huang, I've completely realized my mistake. Just wait and see. I'll definitely get a good grade in the college entrance examination and make you proud. Making me proud is what you should do. The key is that you have to be responsible for yourself." Huang Liman finally got to the point, and her tone became quite serious. "Cheng Yi, I've heard some rumors recently. What's the matter with you and UK Wei, the top student in class 1? Cheng Yi scratched the back of his head. "Teacher Huang, I've indeed become closer to UK Wei recently, but we're just simple friends." Huang Liman nodded. "I believe that. UK Wei isn't blind after all." "Cheng Yi, the key is that teacher Sun from class 1 doesn't believe it. She insisted that I warn you. I'm also very helpless." "Cheng Yi, you're a smart kid. You should know what I mean, right?" "Yes, I understand. People's words are fearful. Teacher Huang, don't worry. I know what to do." "What are you going to do?" "I have to give teacher Sun an answer." Cheng Yi raised his eyebrows and replied with a somewhat proud tone. "Teacher Huang, I'll warn UK Wei. We're still senior high school students. We should focus all our attention on our studies. We shouldn't have those unnecessary thoughts and shouldn't be so obsessed with the so-called beauty and talent that it affects the college entrance examination." Huang Liman. !face.jpg. For more exciting content, please listen to the next episode.